Welcome back, little Deku Nuts. We're here with another episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch. And thank you guys for joining me this episode. So let's just get right into it.
Thanks for being patient.
Let's donate things. Oh, the moth. Ooh, I hope it's about how butterflies evolve moths. And then that the reason moths don't have cool colors because they they don't utilize the light, and that's but butterflies because they are diurnal. I think is the diurnal, which means awake during the daytime. They can utilize light and a reflection of color, so then they adopted color as they went from being nocturnal to diurnal. I hope it talks about that. I want to be right. Strictly a nocturnal creature. These frightful fluttering cysts have been known to haunt the daylight and twilight hours too. Thus, there is no time of day one might escape the moth trait I dislike most of all, those feathery antennae. It's my favorite part of them. The mere thought of them gives my feathers goosebumps. Anyway, my sincerest thanks for your donation. That was really short. Let's donate the black bass. A black bass. Now, I'm just doing a few fascinating facts. Yep. The black bass is a formidably strong fish, and as such is a common target for sport anglers. In some areas, there are even those who professionally catch just black bass. Yet in other areas where they are not native, they are considered an ecological nuisance, invasive even. One cannot help but wonder who is to blame for their invasion. Yeah. And there you have it, fascinating stuff. Yeah, invasive species is a big problem, and if it's native to your area, you shouldn't dick with it. Native plants and native animals really should be allowed to do their thing because they're a part of that ecosystem. But in places where species or a plant is invasive, arguably, if it's considered noxiously invasive, it might be a problem. But for example, lions aren't from America; they're from Asia, and lots of people consider them a nuisance, a noxious weed, and pull them. But that's really unnecessary because they actually help early pollinators. It's one of the few food sources that you'll be able to find. So even invasive species, sometimes you shouldn't dick with them. but anyway, I love talking about Blathers. It's so much fun. Oh, a tadpole! I kind of wanted to keep the tadpole just because it was so cute. Undoubtedly a tadpole. Now might I interest you? Yes. Tell me everything about the tadpole. Eventually turn into frogs, yes. I must say, I find them impossibly adorable with their squiggly little tails. Me too! But even cuter when they sprout legs. Why, we can witness accelerated evolution in these squirmy little ones. It makes me so emotional. Oh, Blathers. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff. That is, I mean, I didn't learn anything new, except that I like Blathers more than I thought I did, which was already a lot. Yeah, I've got fish and bugs up the ass, bro. Oh, am I gonna get demonetized for my sailor mouth? Let's learn about the crucian carp. No, I don't. It's quite easy to tell the two apart. One must simply locate the barbels, or rather, the lack of them. What is a barbel? Oh yeah, and just what is a barbel, you ask? Well, a barbel looks like a little something like a mustache. Oh, okay, that's cool because I like to draw, and I always draw barbels on stuff, and I never knew that that's what those were. Oh my gosh. Carp sports unsightly facial hair, while a crucian carp is considerably better groomed. Wait, does it mean like the whiskers? It must not mean that. Okay, yeah, never mind. I tried to grow a mustache when I was younger. It never did fill in quite right. You're a bird. You've got feathers, bro. Like, and a beak. Can you imagine if he grew hair out of his beak? Not feathers, human hair? Oh my gosh. That does not exist in nature. I mean, I guess we just learned that it does actually. Not on an owl, but on a fish. I want to see this mustache on the fish that he's talking about. Because at first I pictured like whiskers. But now I'm picturing straight up a mustache. Freshwater goby. Gobby? A freshwater gobby. Now, might I interest you in a few facts about the freshwater gobby? Yeah. Wonderful. I would love nothing more. The freshwater gobby is an unassuming specimen. How so? But beneath that calm, fishy exterior, true gluttony resides. It will eat anything that will fit in its mouth. And its mouth is quite... Oh, that's... I just realized that that's really sad with all the garbage that's in our ocean. That's actually really sad. Or maybe it's not an ocean fish. Is it? Oh, it's freshwater. Freshwater gobby. There's still garbage in our lakes and rivers and stuff too. But, so that's sad. And its mouth is quite the gaping maw, so I recommend you refrain from drawing attention to yourself. Oh my gosh. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff. So it would just eat a person, I guess, if it could fit it in its mouth. Like a goat. A goat will eat anything if it's driven to it. Bravo and thank you. Once the museum is complete. Wait, how many things have I donated? How many things have I donated so far? I don't know. I have to be getting close, right? He doesn't like crustaceans either. It's not an insect, though it most certainly resembles one. Blech. It looks much like a spider, what with its creepy eyes and crawly legs, but it is in fact a crustacean. As such, the hermit crab has 10 legs and also wears a shell, but it doesn't grow this shell itself. It slips its soft body into shells left behind by snails, you see. Oh, that's weird. Okay. And moves into ever larger ones as it grows. So that's interesting because snails don't find their shells, they grow them, and they don't outgrow them, I don't think. Like if you see like a baby snail, sometimes it will have like this little lump on its back that's really soft and fleshy. That's going to be its shell when it gets older, because as it grows it will that lump will get bigger and it will harden into a snail shell. And so they don't leave them behind and stuff unless they die. So it uses the shells of deceased snails and they leave once they outgrow it. That's really interesting. Yeah, that is a strange way to make a home. Cheers, thanks for your donation. The bane of my existence, you're gonna take care of it, right? You better, Blathers. bluegill. Undoubtedly a bluegill. Now, might I interest you in a few fascinating facts about your bluegill? The bluegill is incredibly common, a bit too common, depending on where you are. Is it invasive? They eat anything that fits in their mouths and are highly adaptable. Seems like a few fish just eat anything that fits in their mouth, which again, really sad because we throw our garbage in our water. The bane of fishermen in some areas is often it's the only fish to be caught. But looking in its wee beady eyes, I must say I see no ill will in it. Well, of course not. It is an innocent animal. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff. This, we need one donation. Oh, shit. Well, I don't have anything else in my pocket to donate. But I do have, like, a few more things out here. How many things do I have left? Oh, a few. Grab it. This is the one that doesn't get brought inside. Okay. Did you know that I've actually never completed the museum in any of my Animal Crossing games? I've always finished the fossil section. But when it comes to all of the other categories, especially paintings, even though I really liked the painting thing, I'm sad that I don't think it's in this one. I never actually finished the museum, so this time I'm trying to be different and catch everything there is to catch and donate everything there is to donate, not just the fossils. I'm going to have our last one for to be the sea butterfly. The sea butterfly is gonna be the one that Christians the museum into opening. Yeah, tell me about the sea butterfly. Such mystery, such grace. Did you know that the sea butterfly's scientific name is Takosomata? I did not. Who would know that? I mean, I guess people like me and Blathers might, but there's too many things to remember, and they all sound like that. A very rough translation of that is shell body. Indeed, this illustrious creature is related to snails. Oh, so it's also a mollusk. Well, yeah, that makes sense. It looks like one. It reminds me much more of an elegant feathered friend, the way it flies through the water. With such grace in flying, one shouldn't wonder if it's related to the owl. It's not. And there you have it. Blathers, you wish you were a mollusk. Huzzah! We have acquired the number of specimens required. You never thought that I would give you 15 things? Well, I did. I've got more, too. Oh! Accidentally hit it. Now we can submit your application to build a proper museum. I must make haste and prepare for the museum opening. There's so much to do. Thank you so much, Mimsy. I've still got stuff to give you. I hope that's cool. Okay. I hope you guys had fun learning about some of these features. me and Blathers at the museum. So thanks for joining. Bye!